Okay?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ann. Happy birthday to you. Hey! Alright, we gotta turn it around. 3 more. Got 2 left.
How about that?
Pay no mind.
Yay!
Big with the cake for us. I never had a turning cake. That was good.
Did we take one before this?
Come on, leave them alone.
1988 or 89, I don't remember for sure. It was either our first or our second family reunion. We were at White Meadow Lake Beach number 1.
Oh, I
Okay.
remember this.
And I brought along for the kids and anyone else who wanted a blow-up boat. And Ann was the only Bolito girl of the sisters daring enough to ask her ride in the boat. So I took Ann out in the boat, and in the middle of the lake, all she continued to say is, "Who needs Florida? Who needs Florida?" She smiled all the time. She was totally happy. I look back and I notice on the side of the boat, it says maximum weight 250 pounds. Now I was never good at math, but I was thinking, okay, Ann and I together, are we less than 250 pounds? And not being good at math, and Ann not being the slender, youthful Ann we have today,
Right.
I started paddling a little faster to get us in. When I got to the beach and I turned back, she was smiling. I realized she hadn't read the warning and wasn't worrying, or she was less than 120 pounds. And here's the picture. Alright, so, okay.
The boat was almost tipped over.
And what a nice frame you could hang this up at your next senior party.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's it?
thank you.
Could I be next?
And I didn't pick it up actually until later. If you need to
I remember we were laughing like crazy trying to get out of the boat.
Oh, get in and out.
Why don't you sit right there and do it?
Thank you.
Let them all color with crayons.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, you can go.
Sneaking around behind you here.
Could you put that out a little bit further so I can stand? My baby sister is 80 years old. The only one in the family with blonde hair.
Oh, yeah, I'll never forget.
She had this beautiful blonde hair. And she was very shy and she was very bashful. And anytime you'd see her and she was standing for a picture, she would always have her stomach this way, her head down, and her eyes up, looking like this, scared. She was just so bashful.
Oh, she was.
But she was so successful, especially in one area, and that was with her hairdos. Every time we would see my sister, she'd have a different hairdo. And each one was more beautiful than the last one. She was just so successful with her doing her hair up.
I had a knack with it. That's it.
Should have been here.
You've been standing up there. I always thought I was She told my mother I was sending me to school for that. I had to get booked.
Yeah, I remember.
Because there was no money in hairdressing. So
That's right.
I always blamed her.
Who you blame?
Ellen.
Because she told you not to.
Yeah, no, she told Mom. I remember that. My mother listened to the older sisters. You know.
But most of all, I want to talk about how proud I am of my baby sister.
What a proud story too.
She is the hostess with the mostest.
Oh,
Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? She is like a butterfly who has just spread her wings, and she is just absolutely beautiful. I personally
Wait, there's more.
I think they should appoint her the activities director where she lives.
They want me to be president, and I don't want the job, I don't think.
Wait, there's a salary. There's a big salary.
September. They keep telling me that.
$100,000.
That would be in September, but I think I may turn it down.
Where was
It's
she
a lot
all
of
these-
work, and nobody.
Aunt Lou's talking.
Go ahead.
Where were you all these years?
Where was I? I don't know, Michelle.
This beautiful person who emerged. I love you, Anne.
Thank you. It's a love too.
Bravo!
Okay, I got something to say too. I remember Anne when she was 9 years old, and I was 18 at the time, and I was going steady with my husband. And Anne fell in love with Joe. As a little girl, she just, every time we would come over, she would go sit near him, or even as much as sit on his lap when we used to go there. And once in a while, my husband would say, let's take Anne when we go out. And she came out with us many times. We took, you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but we once went to Eagle, what's that? Crystal Lake, and it's up in the Eagle Mountain Reservation. Okay, we went there with a picnic, and we took you along, and you went on the swings with Joe. She did everything with Joe. I swear, I think I had to be worried about her falling in love with Joe.
Even at 9.
Yeah. My mother was at work, and it was winter time, and she had a very bad bloody nose, and no one knew what to do. And it was Sammy and Clem and Nadia and I and all of us. So we all went outside. We got a pail of snow, and we brought it in the house and packed her head, her forehead. And then we went upstairs and called my Aunt Nettie. She came down and said,
I don't remember this.
we were about 4 or 5. Yeah. As she said, she was a blonde. She really was a dirty blonde, but it was beautiful. Yeah.
She always had bloody noses, though. I remember.
She wasn't a yellow blonde. It was like just with streaks, like everybody streaks their hair today. Well, she had all the streaks.
Yeah.
Well, time to go. Where's Bobby? I remember some were a baby.
Oh, we're gonna roast Bob now?
Roast, not his. Tell him.
Yeah,
This part is really good.
well, he don't remember.
Well, nobody's really roasting her.
Yeah,
No.
that's right. You have to tell me something
Sure.
that you remember that I did for you when you were a baby.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
I say it with mixed feelings, but when I used to get disciplined when I was a small kid, you were my defender, and I thank you for that.
Many times. I thought my brother was going to beat me up one day.
Isn't that nice?
For defending him.
Not only that,
We all
Bobby
defended
used
you,
to come
Bobby.
to the house. When Bobby used to come to the house, I think he
was
wanted
like
to
the
run
king.
out the door because she would grab him and give him a bath and wash his hair. And he would
I was the toy
He
doll.
was her doll.
yeah, just like a doll.
Yeah,
Like a
exactly.
doll. Yeah.
What are you gonna raise? Good cup.
So thank you.
I'll see you one thing, and I'll give you half a
He's
cup
right.
of butter.
Exactly.
Came back, because you know what we were going to do, and sneak it back in this parking spot before she got out of work. But we didn't know the things,
I was ready to
traffic.
pull.
By the time I got the cops were there, the car was.
I was watching him from the window at the office. I was watching from the window. I went out at lunchtime. This is the story about that. It was lunchtime. I went out. My car was gone. And I said, oh my God, where's my car? I'm sure I parked it here. So I looked around again. I said, maybe I parked it there. And I'm looking all over my car. I go back to the boss in the office, and I says, I think somebody took my car and stole it. I can't find it. He says, you sure? I says, yeah, I looked all over and I got the keys. How could they take my car? I know I dropped my son off at school, my daughter off to her job, and I came to work. Well, he says, did you call the school?
I have to go through this.
He said to me, I said, what are you saying? Did I call the school for what? Did you see if your son is in school? He said. So I says, no, I didn't.
I missed it.
So he said, well, first he says, well, do you want to call the police? I said, no. I said, I don't think so. Because I called the school and I found out that he wasn't in school. He left at third period. So the boss says, call the cops. I said, no, I don't want to get him in trouble. I didn't want to get him in trouble. He said, that's good discipline. I said, no, I'll handle it. I said to him, and I kept looking by the window. 5 o'clock, I think, just before I came out of work, he put the car back. I see it. It still wasn't where I left.
Perfect crime.
Perfect crime, almost. Somebody took my spot.
So it was in another spot.
Didn't plan on
But I
that.
see him pulling off and getting out of the car. I says, that little stinker, where the hell he went home and got my extra set of keys.
Right?
And went to change something at the store.
Wait a minute, did you put him over your knee and spank him?
And I should have, really.
You should have, yeah.
He was a gangster. He was a gangster. I'm surprised he wasn't in the police.
How about the story where she called every single one of my friends' houses at 2 o'clock in the morning? Called everybody's house at 2 o'clock in the morning looking for me. And I was in the living room sleeping on the floor under the air conditioner.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.